Easy Survey Profits. Learn how to start earning a predictable $500 to $3,500 a month taking online surveys from the comfort of your own home, and yet discover the exact same proven formula that two ordinary guys used to pocket more than $94,000 in cash in just 3 years taking online surveys. Welcome to Easy Survey Profits. I'm very thrilled that you've taken the initiative to make a wise decision to finally become your own boss by working from home, so you can not only decide your own hours, but also hold the power to realistically decide your own income. There are many ways in which you can work from home, earning extra money on the side and replacing your dead-end job, or even become financially free. Trust me, when I say there are many who have achieved their income goals working from home without owning a business, you wouldn't believe the stories. It's no accident that you're reading this ebook. You are about to discover what it feels like to be in the inner circle of that only 1% of the population will ever experience. You have that perfect job everyone envies. I recommend that you pay very close attention to everything in this guide. Put it to use as soon as you finish reading, because this is life-changing information. Now it's time to get down to business. First off, what is Easy Survey Profits? Is it one of those programs crowding the clickbank.com marketplace claiming that you'll get rich by answering a few questions on a survey? Absolutely not. If you're looking for some bogus get-rich-quick scheme that makes you millions by answering surveys, you've come to the wrong place. I can assure you that those opportunities like that don't exist. Therefore, if someone is telling you these lies, you should definitely end all communication with these fraudulent companies. Easy Survey Profits was created to teach the average person how to earn extra income or possibly replace your current income by simply filling out short 5 to 10 minute surveys from the comfort of your own home. Does this excite you? Well, it should, because what I have to share with you is amazing. With this information, you'll never be the same. Easy Survey Profits will provide you with the necessary blueprint to start earning money by simply giving your honest opinion within the next 12 to 24 hours. Even an illiterate who can barely check their email can do this. In order to ensure that this manual is as easy to understand as it needs to be, we have to fill the pages with numbered steps, photos, screenshots, and real illustrations. There's no questions about what to do to start receiving regular paychecks for simply voicing your opinion throughout the day. Have you ever heard the expression, "There's a time and place for everything"? This saying has become popular over the years because it's 100% accurate and true. In general, people normally don't want to hear other people's opinions if it differs from their own. Is that correct? Opinionated people make it very difficult to enjoy their company. However, opinionated readers, it's your lucky day. Your perceived character flaw makes you a perfect candidate for this job. Because companies of all sizes, types, ages, and success levels desperately need to know how you feel about their products, services, and overall bottom line, I'll explain why. I'm sure that you're anxious to get started, and I'm anxious to tell you. I just need to cover a bit more ground information before we go any further, so please bear with me and understand this will help you. Who is Easy Survey Profits designed for? This may sound really generic, but it's honestly designed for almost anyone. If you're looking for a simple, fast, and steady way to earn money, this is the perfect job for you. Take a look at the current list of people that will greatly benefit from Easy Survey Profits. Now, I'm sure you get my point. This list could go on forever, but I wanted to give you a few examples of those who have succeeded with this program. Now, realistically, you can expect to start getting paid what you're worth. But what exactly are you worth? Well, you're worth the amount of work you're willing to do. Remember, although taking surveys for cash profits is a fantastic job, it's still a job nonetheless. If it's taken lightly, you'll miss out on extra cash. My name is Kevin Caldwell. I'm the founder and creator of Easy Survey Profits. The beginning of my story may be similar to yours and many others. I was working a dead-end job and desperately needed a way out. Between managing my family of 6 and my demanding yet low-paying job, I didn't have time to focus on a higher-paying, enjoyable career. I planned to eventually transition my pathetic life to a life that maximized my full potential. I always made excuses for myself and continued to procrastinate for about 3 years. Finally, I was forced to make a change. One day, I went to work and I was told that I was losing my job. Not because I had done anything wrong, but because the budget cuts. Although I was a hard and honest worker, they just couldn't afford to pay me anymore. Not having any idea how I was going to provide for my family of 6, I began online research and asked just about anyone for ideas that I thought could help me. Fortunately, my buddy worked from home, but I didn't know what he did for a living. Now was as good a time as any to find out, so I asked him. He told me that he does many things on the internet, but most of his money simply comes from filling out surveys. Personally, I believe that these things were nothing more than hype and BS. Now, I was sitting directly in front of someone who had been doing this for years. He showed me what to look for, how to get jobs, and everything else I needed to know. Although it turned out to be easier than I could ever imagined, it would have been nearly impossible for me to get started on my own. It's definitely necessary to have someone to show you the ropes step by step in order to succeed. So that's what I'm going to do for you. Now, here comes the answer to the big question that I'm sure that you have been wondering about. How much money have I earned taking surveys? To date, my buddy and I have earned more than $94,000 in profits over the past 4 years by just filling out surveys from my home computer. Now, what's even more amazing is that I get paid regardless of my opinions as long as I'm being honest. Everything is confidential and no one will judge me. Remember that this is an unusual job and your results will vary day to day. What you're looking to do is have steady, regular income over the course of a week or even a month. Now, I've had some days in which I've earned as much as $980 and months that I've generated more than $5,200 by giving my honest opinion to companies that ask for it. There's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't be able to do the exact same. Now, listen very closely. I must warn you about some things. There are many scams out there that seem to be legit and will never shut down because of legal loopholes in the system. You see, there are many dishonest companies out to get your money. In return, they will give you nothing more than empty promises and tons of hype. Here's a quick checklist on how to spot scams. Upfront money. If a company asks you for upfront money so that they can give you a job in which you can earn a living, you should really be wary about this entire scenario. Online jobs are no different from offline jobs in the sense that there should be no fees. Credit vouchers. There are many legit opportunities out there that offer gifts, credit cards, and rewards rather than actual cash money for your opinion. But in many cases, these companies can be rather shady. Please be very careful about these opportunities. Exaggerated income. When you're constantly hearing terms such as quit your day job, get rich quick, and other slogans similar, this should be a red flag. You will not get rich through paid online surveys. However, you are able to supplement your income with proper research and diligence. Poor website quality. Believe it or not, a website's level of professionalism will serve as a great means of determining whether or not a company is legit or not very quickly. Things such as spelling mistakes, low-scale design, and poor quality websites usually mean that the company is not professional and that you should not rely on them. New companies. Just because a survey website is brand new without a proven track record, good or bad, that doesn't mean that it is a scam. However, it's definitely something to be on the lookout for as well as to avoid if possible. By using the above, checklist will literally have you immune from ever having to worry about wasting any of your time or hard-earned money. Skip even one of my tips, and this could be the difference between success and failure. I understand that this is a very simple step that might seem pretty insignificant and pointless to you at the moment. But trust me, it's the single number one most important aspect to this industry. Remember, this is a job. As an employee of any company, you're supposed to be paid for your work and not the other way around. If anyone is telling you anything differently, there might be something fishy going on. In order to become familiar with taking surveys for cash, let's talk about a few facts that are very important. Knowing what you're up against as well as what to expect is a huge factor when it comes to being successful at your new job. Don't fall for all the misleading information that you will undoubtedly come across on the internet when it comes to working from home. Working from home and owning your own internet business are two separate things that should never be confused. Here are some of the differences and similarities. When you work from home, you're the boss. You create your own schedule. You decide your income. You can work anywhere in the world. You have the ability and the potential to earn unlimited earning potential. You eliminate coworkers. You increase your free time, and you have real job security. When you work for someone else, you pretty much know the ideals from there. You answer to multiple supervisors, work someone else's schedule. You get the same paycheck every time. You have an inconvenient commute to get through traffic hours. Sometimes you also get the same pathetic paycheck every time. You have to also deal with difficult coworkers. Life revolves around your job. And of course, there is the unexpected job termination. Do you see my point? I think that it's safe to say that it's pretty obvious that the benefits of working from home clearly outweigh the benefits of working a traditional job in every way. Now, are you aware that there are literally tens of thousands of people that consistently earn a full-time income month in and month out from the comfort of their own homes? It's true, and most of these home workers do surveys. Let's think about this entire scenario for a moment. Most people hate their jobs in terms of both what they do for a living, how they are treated, and even so, how much money they earn. Therefore, if you or anyone else similar to you could literally earn even the same amount of money that you're currently earning while working less hours, eliminating your nagging boss and annoying coworkers, and never having to leave your home, would you? Of course you would, and that's why you're reading this ebook in the first place. You see, this number of home workers earning either a steady part-time or full-time job income continues to grow larger and larger each and every month automatically. Do you know why? Because people are finally realizing that the best way to do things is always going to be through the use of the internet, especially when it comes to earning easy, consistent, and quick cash. Now for the good part. Again, as I stated earlier in this manual, you should steer clear of anyone claiming that you can or will become rich or even wealthy by filling out online surveys. Perhaps there have been some rare exceptions in the past in which this may or may not have happened to others, but it is highly unusual and doesn't happen often. However, you can focus on bringing in steady income, and this is what I'm promising with this opportunity and nothing more. But guess what? Although $300 to $500 per month is really good, actually considering you're only working about 10 to 20 minutes per day from the comfort of your own home. But there's a new shortcut that most survey income earners don't know about. The only reason that the average person doesn't make more than 1 to 2 surveys daily is simply due to a lack of not having enough surveys available. And here's the good news. There's absolutely no shortage in companies that offer cash compensation in exchange for your honest opinion. But again, these so-called companies are nothing more than legalized scams. When most people finally do come across a legitimate survey opportunity or two, they're usually reluctant to find any more. This is why you need to keep reading, because later in this manual, I'm going to break down how I've been able to consistently get 5, 10, and sometimes even as much as 20 different surveys through dozens of different companies in a single day for the past several years. If you ever made money taking surveys in the past, but had trouble getting enough work to satisfy your income needs, you'll kick yourself after discovering just how simple it is. I know I did. Now, the amount of time that you put in as far as doing surveys is totally up to you. This will all depend on how much money you want to make. However, I'm not very big on working 12 to 14-hour days, and even just working 4 to 5-hour days. Some people are able to replace the income that they are currently receiving at their day jobs so long as they use my strategy and proven formula. Here's something that is very important that you will always need to remember. This might be a work-for-home job, but nonetheless, it's still a job. The average full-time worker at a traditional job works steady for approximately 40 hours per week, and the average part-time worker usually puts in 20 to 30 hours per week. If you're serious about earning a real income, why should you be any different? As long as you keep the mindset that this is a real job, you'll be fine. You won't have to worry about the usual stress of being on the job, and yet you can still earn the same amount of money potentially, and possibly even more. Again, the average person that does this type of work makes around $400 per month, which can still take care of some necessary utilities or even a car payment, but they're not reaching their full potential, as I just explained in the last section. Those that are able to consistently rake in tons of work, as I have for the past several years, will have no problem with doubling, tripling, or even bringing in up to 10 times more money than average, is because of the demanding workload that they'll be exposed to. Make sense? My partners and I have earned more than $94,000 in cash profits simply by taking surveys. I've even met others that are even more serious about their jobs than we were. They were able to rake in more than $5,000 to $6,000 per month consistently over long periods of time. This goes to show that the consistency is definitely there if you know what you're doing. I wish I could say that I've purchased thousands of programs like yourself and finally found something that worked for me after years of struggle, frustration, and lost money, but unfortunately that isn't just the case for me. Remember the story I shared with you earlier in this manual? You know, the story about how my buddy had already laid the groundwork so that he could open up the doors for me to start earning right out of the gates? Well, this is the same thing that I'm willing to do for you. Don't do things the hard way and fall flat on your face like many others continue to do over and over again. Try my way because I know exactly what to do and you'll be pleasantly surprised, I'm sure. Take a look at what we've proven to be possible with online survey income. Pretty amazing income, huh? Of course it is. But what's even more amazing is the fact that this job takes no skill or special knowledge whatsoever, so you can do the exact same thing that I've done. There are actually 4 different types of surveys that you can take in order to earn money. The first type of survey that I'd like to mention is the typical online survey that you see constantly. The problem is that most of the advertisements that you see there are just that, just advertisements. This is why if you want to maximize your earning potential, you'll need to take what you're going to learn and utilize it so that you can find legitimate opportunities without the fluff. An online survey simply means that you'll be answering some very simple questions based solely on either some specific facts about yourself, situation, or your honest opinion. The good news is just like with any other type of survey, there are no right and wrong answers. An offline survey is a survey in which you answer questions either by phone, postal mail, or even in person taking a test or review or interview. These were much popular in the 80s and 90s, but since the creation of the internet, they aren't used quite often. Cash. Both on and offline survey programs can be what we like to call cash surveys, meaning that your actual compensation for successfully completing each survey will be actual cash money rather than other means. And the last type of survey is the kind that doesn't actually pay out any cash money. Instead, they offer rewards such as gift cards, credit cards, etc. These can also be both on and offline surveys. Just think, this can be you taking surveys with cash before the end of the day. Just in case you never filled out or even seen a survey, here's something that you should know. Every survey is specifically targeted to a specific group of people. What this means is that not every survey you see will be designed for you. Therefore, you won't qualify for every survey that comes across your way. But that's okay. There are plenty of surveys that you'll qualify for no matter who you are or what your situation is. Since no two people are exactly alike, you'll never have the exact same qualified survey list as the next person. Make sense? Let's get a little more in depth as to how the survey process actually works. First, you read the requirements to determine if you qualify. Second, you sign up to take the survey. Third, you successfully complete the survey to the best of your ability. Lastly, you're given detailed instructions on how that specific company will be compensating you so you can receive your payout. And that's it. Pretty simple, huh? But why are tens of thousands of companies worldwide willing to pay you just to give your opinion? Because in order to know exactly what the customer needs, you must speak with your target audience and ask them what they want. Surveys are how companies drastically increase sales and keep their customer satisfaction quota as high as possible. Just think about it for a second. How would these companies know what to give their customers in terms of products and services without actually speaking to them first to decide what would make them happy? Sure, everyone has their own opinion, but if you're in a specific niche market or category, chances are you'll share many of the same views as other people do. For example, let's just say that you're someone who enjoys electronics such as flat-screen TVs. If an electronics manufacturer such as Sony or any other household name wanted to be sure that they stayed the leading source for these devices, they need to be 100% sure that they're meeting the customer's needs every time. So what does that mean to meet the customer's needs? It simply means to give them what they want, enjoy, and desire the most. Since having a television, especially an expensive flat screen, isn't a life and death matter, you can't necessarily give the customer something that they must have. However, what you can do is offer them something that they'll enjoy so much that they're willing to spend top dollar for it. Sony, in this scenario, would hire you to take a survey filled with a series of easy-to-understand questions, normally multiple choice answers, but that you can complete in a matter of minutes. They would be geared specifically towards televisions and making your TV watching experiences much more enjoyable. Take a look at some of the sample questions located below on these surveys. And there's another example. Everything is self-explanatory to ensure that you have absolutely no trouble or confusion. A typical survey will be done by anywhere from 100 to 10,000 different people depending on the nature of the subject, the budget, and other factors that are insignificant to us at the moment as they don't help nor hinder us from getting paid. So let's move on. In case I haven't made myself perfectly clear, I'll explain a bit further in detail as to why this is literally a winning situation for everyone that is involved. Take a look at the chart below that simply shows how everyone involved, whether directly or indirectly, isn't only affected, but helps simply by these surveys. You have the vendor, the company, and the manufacturer, the store employees, the sellers, the customer, and you, the survey taker. It's a perfect circle of compensation in which everyone involved will benefit while barely doing a thing. The amazing technique for keeping customer satisfaction at an all-time high has grown increasingly possible over the past several years and will continue to do so each and every month. Now you can finally see that what seemed to be a concept that might be shady as a direct result of it seeming much too good to be true, in actuality, it could be more real and brilliant. With all that said, it's time for me to teach you how to make some easy, steady cash simply filling out surveys with your honest opinion. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, now for the moment you've been anticipating for such a long time. The first thing that you're going to need to do in this process is to understand the simple 4-step process that we've created so that you'll have no issues in getting started immediately. Step number 1, locating surveys. The first thing you need to do in this very simple 5-step process would be to locate the surveys that you're qualified to take. You will simply use the resource list that we have listed in the manual. Rather than having to search through Google over and over again, you can use what we provide in order to instantly locate perfect surveys. Step 2 is very important. Each of the companies that we provided for you in order to get started have been tested and screened to be legitimate companies that have proven track records of making payments on time, as they say. However, if you plan on using your own survey companies or even using one of ours, it would be a good idea to use our list that you saw earlier in this manual for determining if a company is a scam or not. Just run through the checklist and you should have absolutely no problems. Signing up. The next step, after discovering the companies that you'd like to start taking surveys for, would be to sign up, get registered, and start taking the surveys. Each and every company is unique in their own way, but in the end, they are all pretty much the same. Just follow their very simple step-by-step instructions and everything should go smoothly. If you need any further assistance, just contact their support staff, in which we'll go over into more details later in this manual. Getting paid. Getting paid is the final step and obviously the best and most important as well. Be sure to follow procedures for each individual company to ensure that you are paid all that you have earned and on time as well. You definitely do not want to ruin this step for any reason. Later in this manual, you'll find a list of more than 70 legit companies that either I or my partners have used successfully to earn money by taking surveys. However, for now, let's not worry about finding the surveys because they're plentiful and I've already mapped everything out for you, so let's just stay focused. In this section, we'll be talking about getting not only a few nice paying survey jobs, but actually being able to put yourself in a realistic position to literally be bombarded with more jobs than you could possibly handle, even if you hired an assistant. This would be a great problem to have, correct? Of course it would. In fact, it's actually not a problem at all. It's what I like to call success. Can you smell it? Because I can. The first thing that you must keep in mind is that when it comes to taking surveys, you want to always keep your availability open, especially in the beginning at times like this. Why? Because you currently have no credibility, no options, no direction, and no jobs. You can't be picky right about now. You must take what you can get and make good of it. In doing so, I can 100% guarantee that in the near future, you will be able to decide when and how to work, if ever. Just don't be overly confident right now in the beginning. This doesn't mean that taking surveys has to consume your life, as if you were a brain surgeon that was on call 24 hours a day. It just simply means that you need to check your emails regularly, at least 3 times a day, and that you're sure to return phone calls promptly within the hour if anyone should happen to call you. I can assure you that most companies would rather email or send you a message through their account after you had signed up. Next, you will need to build relationships with a steady pillar of trust and credibility. This next step actually goes hand in hand with the last step, because the first step in being able to build a trustworthy business relationship with those companies would be to sustain an elite ability to assure these companies that when they need you, they can count on you. Remember, I can't stress enough how important it is for you to realize that this is still a job. If you worked at Walmart or McDonald's, would you tell your boss that you couldn't come into work if they called you up on your day off during your first month while you were still on your 90-day probation period? Perhaps some people would, but if you're aiming to move up to management levels, this would be a terrible thing to do. If you plan to get a raise and a better job with the establishment, you need to always give it your best shot, as the same as the customer always being right. In the beginning, your boss is always right. Relax. This is not your traditional job. All I'm asking is for you not to allow this incredible opportunity filled with unlimited success possibilities and freedom to go to your head. This will allow you to blow it very quickly, and you'll be right back in the boat that you were in at the moment. Creating job security. What do people that work in traditional employment fields seek and desire most of all? Usually, it's to have some type of real job security, correct? With this said, I think we can all agree that doing surveys the correct way can and will always give you a keen sense of job security. The best way to do this is to first spread yourself out so that you're registered with at least 100 legitimate companies at all times in which you qualify for. Sure, it'll take some effort in the beginning in terms of getting signed up, but you'll soon see your efforts pay off like never before. Perhaps the most important aspect of creating job security would be to become a preferred worker, or in this case, a preferred survey taker. The best way to do this is to just do a great, prompt, and honest job every single time. Your job is very simple. In fact, taking these types of surveys is so simple that even a 10-year-old child could easily succeed but take it seriously. You'd be surprised to discover how many jobs people are missing out on as a direct result of late responses, no responses, and not giving realistic, honest answers on these little quizzes. The only wrong answers would be dishonest answers. It would also be a good idea to email these companies that you're signed up with at least once per week, just letting them know that you're available. The contact email is usually located on the site, and you can always use a generic email, such as what I have listed below. If you happen to have any trouble locating the contact email, it will normally be on either the home page at the bottom, top, side, or perhaps on a Contact Us page of its own. The below example is for a paid survey company called Springboard America. Their contact link happens to be located at the bottom of the page. Don't make this into such a difficult thing. If you can't locate the email contact information for a company immediately, then just move on to the next resource company. It's that simple. Here's another example of the contact link being located at the top of the page. Now, most will be in plain sight so that you have no issues. And I recommend using this practice with at least 25 to 50 different companies per week until you're overwhelmed with extra work. This next step is also very important. There are certain requirements that you typically need to meet for 99% of all surveys, and then there are other requirements that may only be necessary for specific surveys as well. Typically, here is a generic list of what you're going to need. Alternate phone number, alternate email address, name, mailing address, gender, age, hobbies, occupation, annual income. That's not too difficult, right? Depending on the specific product or survey being taken, you may or may not qualify. There will be other surveys that will be vague, such as those that are basically just looking for people that eat red meat or perhaps regular coffee drinkers. I'm sure that you get the point. Some of these qualifications can be rather broad, whereas others will be pretty specific and detailed. Either way, I can assure you that you specifically qualify for more than enough to keep your pockets paid, and that's the only thing that actually matters. Always be 100% certain to supply the correct information when you're signing up for these survey companies. So it's very important that you never give out your primary email, regardless if they ask for it or not, and the same holds true for your telephone number. It's sad, but even if these companies are legit when it comes to giving prompt payouts and generous compensations for their surveys, they still tend to be rather shady in other ways. For example, they are more than likely to ask you for your primary email address, which is the email address that you use most often. They will normally, in turn, find some type of legalized yet unethical loophole that will allow them to share, sell, and rent your personal information to third-party companies. In the end, you'll be bombarded with useless spam, usually with scam companies that don't even have legit survey cash for opportunities, so this is a terrible idea. The same thing happens when you release your phone number. Here's what you need to do. 1. I wouldn't give out my real number. If you have a cheap voicemail number with www.vumber.com, you can pay a low monthly fee, usually $5 to $10, and this can be a great ideal if you can spare the cash. The true beauty of this is that typically companies offering voicemail and alternate phone number services, such as Vumber, normally offer a free trial period to getting started so that there are no commitments, contracts, or upfront fees. This gives you an opportunity to test it out to see if you like it and to keep the service or not. You have the option of having it set up strictly like a voicemail, in which it will ring for the person on the other end that is calling you, but then they'll be sent to a mailbox that you can check from anywhere in the world, in real time and as long as you have your password handy. You also have the option of simply having that phone number ring directly to your phone number, of course, with a notification letting you know which number the caller actually dialed. This allows you the benefits of being able to cancel the ability to actually have your main phone number called on as often as you like. Your privacy is very important, and so is your ability to refrain from having to be bothered with pesky telemarketers. The next thing that you need to do is either use an email address that you don't often use when signing up with these companies, or sign up for a brand new email address by following the prompts after clicking Here Now. This is gmail.com, which is a part of Google, and it's perhaps the most efficient, advanced, and easy to use free email address in the entire world. Sign up is a cinch and will only take 3 to 5 minutes of your time. Trust me, it's well worth it. There are some services that will allow you to take the list of the 70 survey companies that I've given you, along with any other companies that you're referred to or that you locate, maybe on Google or through other means. It'll be rather time-consuming to actually sign up for the 70-plus recommended companies that I've listed, but it is definitely necessary. It's a one-time thing in which you'll never have to do again. The steps to signing up are very simple. Step 1, you visit the desired website's address. You'll see later in the manual. Step 2, click on the Sign Up or Get Started link located on the home page of the site. Step 3, follow instructions to make yourself available. The above example shows what the beginning of a brief sign-up form looks like. Don't worry, although there are many different websites that I've given you, they are all basically the same as the next. It's all pretty straightforward. Once you have done one, you'll feel as if you've done them all. If you'd like to skip this task, you can easily hire a worthy data entry company on Elance by creating a free account at the domain's access listed below. Sign up takes only minutes and they'll walk you through everything. Click on Register at the top right-hand corner. Your next screen should look something like this. After choosing the option, I want to hire, at the previous screen, now enter your information. And now you're successfully signed up with elance.com. Click on the link that says Hire at the top left-hand side and then click on Post a Job. Now, I wouldn't spend more than $25 to $50 on this job, and I would require that the data entry person or team that you hire have it done in 12 hours or less. Filling out the surveys is absolutely the easiest part of this entire process. Once you're all signed up with legitimate companies and offered survey jobs, you should never intentionally fill in wrong answers for any reason. Even if you're ashamed or possibly even embarrassed of the answers, there's absolutely nothing to worry about, because everything is totally confidential, just as if you were speaking to an attorney or doctor. Also, you should never just circle answers or choose multiple choice answers so that you can speed through the surveys. These companies didn't become successful by being scammed or fooled. They're very good at determining if someone is legit or not, and if they rule that you're doing fraudulent surveys, they'll ban you and potentially tell many other similar companies as well to steer clear from you. In other words, don't try to rip them off because it won't work. Okay, here's the deal. There are actually 3 different ways in which you can fill out a survey. Of course, the first way was to fill it out the wrong way, fraudulently, with dishonest answers. The second way to fill out these surveys would be to simply answer the questions the correct way by reading each question in its entirety and giving full, honest answers if required. This is what's required, and I cannot stress this point to you enough. Honestly, over the years, I've developed some pretty amazing ways to fill these surveys out very fast and still be pretty accurate. The problem is that many of the tips and tricks that I've learned are slightly gray, and I don't want to focus on anything that isn't 100% ethical. However, there are simple tips. Like tip number 1, check your internet connection. Make sure your internet connection is as fast as it's supposed to be. You don't have to be some technical genius to accomplish this. Just call your internet provider and have them run a test on their end to ensure that your internet connection is as strong as possible. Having a slow or delayed internet connection will make it nearly impossible to finish surveys in a time-effective manner. Your computer will freeze and load very slowly, taking you up to 1,000% longer to finish surveys. Surveys that would have normally taken you just 5 minutes could take upwards up to an entire hour. Tip 2. Check your computer for viruses. Viruses can sometimes be even more detrimental to the speed of your internet than having a bad connection. Once certain viruses have attacked your computer, sometimes you can fix them yourself. Try downloading the Google Chrome Internet Browser 100% free of charge in just minutes by visiting. There have been many cases in which internet users were ready to literally trash their computers because they believed that they had reached the point of no return, only to find that after refraining from using the Internet Explorer web browser and using the Google Chrome browser instead made all the difference in the world. Even if you're not having any problems with your computer, I still recommend Google Chrome in order to keep it that way. You may, however, have to check the settings to be sure that pop-ups are allowed, as many of these survey companies use pop-ups. Having your pop-up blocker on will hinder you from ever being able to open up a survey. Here's what you need to do in order to turn it off. Step 1. Click on the Settings tab on the top right corner of your Google Chrome browser screen. It looks like a small wrench. Step 2. Click on Options. Step 3. Click on Under the Hood on the left-hand side. Step 4. Under the Privacy heading at the top, click on Content Settings. Step 5. Scroll down to the Pop-up heading and choose the option Allow Sites to Show Pop-ups. At this point, you shouldn't have any issues with pop-ups or opening up new windows in order to fill out surveys, forms, and anything else that you need for your new work-at-home job. Tip number 3 is eliminating distractions. In life, it seems that we all have to multitask at some point in our lives, or over time, it becomes the norm for us. The problem is that although it may be in fact be the norm for us, it's not a good thing to do in most situations, especially when it comes to doing your job correctly. You need to cut out distractions. Go to a quiet place in your home, such as the patio, home office, bedroom, or something similar. Shut off your television. Find an activity for the kids in the next room and be sure to make it just you and your computer. Studies show that those who are distracted take up to 33% longer to fill out surveys, even though they don't even believe that they're being distracted. If you happen to be one of those type of people that are unable to concentrate when it's just too quiet, I recommend putting on some light music through the use of radio, YouTube, CD, or MP3. Just be sure not to have it too loud because it will slow you down and you won't even know it. Tip number 4, using your first instinct. Rather than sitting, staring, and pondering about each and every question for 2 minutes, just choose the answer that comes to mind first. After all, this isn't rocket science. It's just answering some questions with your honest opinion. If you have to pause and think about it, you probably aren't being as honest as you should be. Everything that you've learned thus far in Easy Survey Profits is very useful, but will be completely useless if you fail to get paid. Isn't the cash compensation the real reason that you're here in the first place? Of course it is. So in this chapter, I'll explain how you can get paid and exactly what you can expect when getting paid. There are actually 2 different type ways to get paid when it comes to getting cash compensation. The first way to get paid would be through online payments. Many of these survey companies will allow you to get paid through their PayPal.com account, which is very convenient and simple to use. You can sign up for a free PayPal.com account by visiting www.paypal.com. PayPal.com is the largest email-based payment system in the entire world. It allows anyone to send money to someone as long as that person has an email address. Their security and fraud protection is top-notch, and they have more than 1 billion users worldwide. Keep in mind that there are other ways to accept payment, but each company will have their own instructions, policies, and rules. Just be sure to pay very close attention to the payout rules. The second way to get paid would be through receiving a check in the mail. This is also a great way to go depending on the company that you're dealing with. For some strange reason, these survey companies normally take 4 to 6 weeks for your checks to reach you. Why? I honestly have no idea, but that's generally the way it works. I believe that this is a very unfair practice, but guess what? That's life. So we have to either abide by their rules if they give you no other option, or get a traditional job working for someone else. The choice is yours. Just be sure to follow up with these companies with these long extended payout periods on a monthly basis to keep perfect track in writing as to how much money you're owed. I would recommend using this chart on the next page to be as accurate as possible. One of the main benefits of this job is the ability to work from a convenient location in your own home at your own pace through your own schedule. This also comes with a price. If you're really planning to earn some significant money, it's very important that you're able to create a real work schedule, the same as if you worked in a department store or office building, and stick to it without exception. So what should your schedule consist of? How many hours should you work? Well, these are actually pretty important questions, and you need to determine this as if you work for someone else. The first thing that you need to decide on is whether or not you will be part-time or full-time. Next, you need to decide if you're going to work normal 8-hour shifts or up the ante to 12-hour shifts. I have attached a work schedule to this program that will greatly help you. Everything is pretty self-explanatory, and I've even filled in a sample one for your convenience. Use it every day, even if you don't think that you need it, because, trust me, you do. For those of you who have worked from home in the past, this transition may be pretty simple for you. For those of you who are starting this program that have never worked from home or been self-employed before, I urge you to pay extra attention to this chapter specifically because having the right mindset is very important when it comes to success. Most of the people that are unsatisfied with their income in terms of home, business, or work are unhappy as a result of them not knowing how to have their mind set. There are 3 different characteristics that you'll need to either already have or develop very quickly if you plan on earning money consistently. Don't worry, it's very simple, and I'll show you how. First, you must be very self-disciplined when it comes to working for yourself. This is very important because no matter how annoying your nosy coworkers were, they give you an incentive to do your job the correct way for 2 different reasons. First off, you are probably afraid that if you didn't do your job correctly, they would go behind your back and tell your boss, leaving you vulnerable for termination. Second, if you have a heart and care about other people's well-being, you probably did your job correctly so that you wouldn't have to worry about them having to pick up the slack. Guess what? You no longer have any coworkers. There's no one there to help you, and honestly, you don't need them. We're all adults here, and your motivation should be to avoid going back to where you were. It should also be your bills, children, car, homes, and anything else that costs you money. As long as you keep those things in mind, you should be fine. Normally at work, your boss will tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Not anymore. With no boss looking over your shoulder with that office mug in their hand that you absolutely hate so much, you'll be responsible for starting your work on time every time. Are you up for the challenge? I believe that you're definitely up for the challenge, and I'll tell you why. It took drive, courage, and willpower just to take the initiative to purchase and even start the Easy Survey Profits program, but you did it anyway, and this proves everything. Just be sure to stick with your schedule, and you'll have no issues in this area either. The last thing that you'll need to be is a self-motivator. On those days that you're feeling sleepy, down, or even a little under the weather, you have got to push yourself to still work to keep up that steady paycheck that you have grown to receive. There will be no threatening phone calls, emails, or voicemails to motivate you, telling you that if you don't get to work immediately, that you could lose your job. What you will lose if you don't motivate yourself will become income, jobs, and ruined relationships. Just look at this as being something that you just need to do and find a way to make it fun. Compare your new job versus your friends, family members, and old co-workers. I'm sure they would love to be in your shoes. And after you're finished meditating on these facts, you should be good and motivated to walk 3 feet to your computer in your PJs and get to work. Positioning yourself to receive free bonuses and gifts from companies that you work for is actually quite simple. Much like a traditional job, you can always win free gifts as a result of completing certain tasks in a certain amount of time or to perfection. Since your new job is simply to fill out easy surveys, what you'll need to do in order to qualify for free gifts would be to complete the necessary quota with each survey company that will put you eligible for extra things. Here's just a small list of things I've received for doing surveys with specific companies. Flat screen television, laptop computer, department store cards, gift cards, sweepstakes entries, office furniture, dine-in cards, travel discounts. If these gifts don't excite you, don't worry, because you can easily choose other things. I chose the things that interest me, and you should do the same. This chapter is probably worth as much as 10 times the amount of the entire Easy Survey Profits program, so you don't want to overlook this part, I'm sure. Throughout this ebook, I've mentioned a resource list of tested and legitimate survey companies that have been very profitable and beneficial to my partners and I over the past several years. Much like any other online companies, things can change quite often, which is why it is very important to keep up with the most relevant and up-to-date survey companies. We did our very best at achieving this and would love for you to benefit as much as we have. There are actually 3 different types of survey companies that we're recommending in 3 different categories. They are quick surveys, high payout surveys, and steady surveys. What quick survey companies, this means that most of the surveys offered with this company can be completed within just minutes. This makes things very convenient for you. Steady survey companies. A steady survey company is a company that gives you regular work. Doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be the highest paying or the shortest surveys, but they will be steady. High payout survey companies. A high payout survey company is one that pays above average compensation fees for your honest opinion. This is what most people are looking for. Check out the chart through pages 48 and 47. Some of these companies fit into one of the categories, some of them into two, and some of these companies fit into all three categories, in which, of course, they will be the very best and most sought-after companies. I'll give you a minute to look over these, or you can always come back to them later. Company name, eSearch. eSearch.com Incorporated has provided online market research since 1995. The company was one of the first to develop an online research panel, and it continues to be one of the best. Sinovate. This easy-to-use website offers reward vouchers and checks for shopping at different physical retail stores. You earn points for completing surveys that are 10 to 15 minutes in length. Rewards are redeemable via voucher codes or checks that are mailed to you. Participants are automatically put into monthly cash and prize draws. My Survey. My Survey is a site that is accessible for Canadian members. You can earn cash, gift certificates, and air miles for providing your input on products. Ipsos. This is a survey company that consists of Canadian members only. Springboard America. U.S. residents can redeem their earnings through checks or to donate the money that you earn taking surveys to a registered charity. NDP Group. The NDP Group is a leading North American market research company. The NDP Group consistently ranks among the top 25 market research companies today. The NDP Group helps more than 1,800 clients fatten their coffers by giving them the skinny on customer behavior at all costs. Valued opinions. Your opinions count. It's only through market research surveys that companies large and small can truly learn what people like you think about. Everything from specific products and services to topics as wide-ranging as fashion, film, or global warming. Mindfill. Cash incentives are provided for full participation in most Mindfill online surveys. Cash payments are only made if the panel member is in good standing and there were no validation or data quality problems. HotSpecs. At HotSpecs, points are redeemable for prize wagers, gift certificates, or can be donated to charity. Toluna USA. There are no costs associated with joining the panel, and you can leave at any time. You do, however, need an email address to receive invitations to participate in surveys, and you need to be able to access the internet to complete online surveys. ePoll. ePoll provides a convenient online forum to express your opinions on a variety of issues that affect your daily life. Opinion Outpost. Opinion Outpost is a research panel. It's a community of individuals who agree to share their views, opinions by answering survey questions from leading marketing research companies worldwide and Fortune 500 companies. SurveySpot provides its members with survey opportunities in exchange for rewards. Earn points that can be redeemed for cash and gift vouchers. Also, you'll have the opportunity to win in our spot challenges and our promotions on Facebook. Global Test Market is an international company that is available for most countries to participate in paid surveys opportunities. American Consumer Opinion. This is a free membership program in which the average survey will take approximately 10 minutes to complete, and the questions are very easy to answer. Nielsen HomeScan is a survey and search company available for Canadian residents that would like to earn money for their opinion. Opinion Square. U.S. and Canadian residents can be redeemed to play games for prizes or through a reward catalog. Global Survey Group. They offer you amazing rewards for taking their surveys because your opinion about products and services and preferences are valuable. Survey Savvy. Since its inception in 1999, has grown to include consumers and business professionals in over 195 countries worldwide who have learned that participating in surveys and referring family and friends pays off. Brand Institute. Brand Institute provides a robust portfolio of brand strategy, architecture, naming, research, regulatory, and design services. Wherever your product is in its life cycle, Brand Institute offers tailored, cutting-edge identity solutions ensuring creativity, trademark risk awareness, regulatory insight, and resident design execution. Permission Research is a division of Comscore Inc., one of the nation's largest internet research firms boasting more than 2 million members worldwide. Our goal is to help companies understand internet trends, and patterns so they can give people like you what they want. SurveyHead was founded in 2008 by the founders of Gozing.com. From 1999 to 2005, Gozing paid out over $5 million to people worldwide from completing online surveys. In 2005, Gozing was acquired by a public competitor, E/Advisor Panel. ClickIQ is an award-winning market research firm that employs fully integrated online management tools to help its clients and partners achieve true competitive advantage through consumer insight. Based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, ClickIQ delivers its market research solutions to some of the best-known and most respected companies across the United States. Greenfield Online Surveys. Every service that our site offers is free of charge, and for participation in many Tuluna activities, you'll be awarded points. The points you earn can be converted into cash rewards or entries into our monthly $4,500 drawing. The Harris Poll is one of the oldest and most prestigious polls in the world. By participating, you'll not only have your say in matters that affect you, you'll also be able to see the results from the surveys you complete. MySurvey.com is a group of consumers throughout the United States who influence future products and services by volunteering to participate in consumer research, which is known as the NFO survey. TestBin is an online market research company offering easy-to-use, affordable research solutions through the internet. Resolution Research. As a member of the Resolution Research Consumer, Business and IT and/or Medical Profession and Business Panel, you will have a unique opportunity to speak up about a variety of important issues facing our culture today and get paid to take online surveys. Nielsen Digital Voice. Every day, millions of people like you go online to learn, shop, work, bank, network, talk, and do pretty much anything else you can think of. These days, the internet is an integral part of the fabric of our everyday lives, and at Nielsen, we want to help consumers and businesses better understand the power of the web. Pinecone Research is at the forefront of online research, today's sophisticated and leading-edge approach to gathering consumer opinions. Consumer input is vital to the development of new and improved products. As a member of MyOpinionNow.com, you become part of a special group of consumers who help decide which product and service ideals are winners and which are not. eSearch.com is a great resource when your needs point to internet research. With a 100% opt-in panel, eSearch.com has the sample you need to successfully field your projects. Planet Panel. Our global community provides a unique environment that encourages you to meet new people, share your thoughts, look for advice, and most importantly, make your voice heard. Consumer Village. These research agencies conduct studies with people like you so they can better understand existing products or new product ideals. Those that are selected and participate in the surveys receive generous compensation for their time. GfK Surveys. GfK Custom Research is one of the world's largest, fast-growing, fact-based consulting firms with deep roots in research and marketing science. Mommy Talk Surveys. These are companies around the world that pay top dollar for opinions about baby products and services from mothers like you. On-Demand Research. On-Demand Research is the next level of market research. By uniting innovative strategies with new technologies, our goal is to drive results. It is our core belief that through innovation, insight, and ingenuity, the impossible is now possible, allocating for prosperity and success. ConsumerLink is an online opinion community with over 200,000 members. As a ConsumerLink panelist, you'll have a say in topics ranging from the current events that everyone is talking about to the products you see on your store shelves and everything in between. USA Talk Now panel, American residents who are willing to participate in online surveys or online focus groups, sharing their opinions and preferences on a wide variety of subjects. MemoLink. Founded in 1994, Aprio is a privately held online marketing and advertising agency based in Denver, Colorado. Aprio was originally an offline college marketing company known as MemoLink and later launched memolink.com in November 1998. MyView.com is backed by Authentic Response. Since 1996, the market research community has relied on Authentic Response for responsible and dependable solutions for their research needs. Be Heard Worldwide Panel. Our online community consists of people just like you who want to voice their opinions and insights to help shape the way we shop, influence the products and services we buy, and impact the future of the retail experience worldwide. Consumer Opinion Institute. Your participation is private and always 100% voluntary. You will never be asked to purchase anything, and you can end your membership at any time. Vindel Research. Regular people just like you and I can take surveys on products and website evaluations and earn money through Vindel Research. Consumer Input Panel. This is a really exclusive paid survey opportunity that is an invite only. Visit the website to see if you qualify. Inspired Opinions. Our company values are based on quality and integrity, and we operate under the professional code of numerous professional bodies of which we are members, including the Market Research Association. Zoom Panel. Tell companies what you think. Test new products before anyone else. Get points for each survey you take. Clear Voice Surveys. We're an easy way to earn cash and rewards just by voicing your opinions. Companies need your help to improve their products and services, and in return, you get paid for answering their surveys. Spider Matrix. We recruit testers. We call them spiders. Prepare a set of evaluation questions, a rating, organized for testing to be done, thanks to our spiders for their efforts by giving them rewards, and can provide our clients with a clear and precise viewpoint. In industry jargon, this is called qualitative research. Socratic Forum. At Socratic Forum, anyone can participate in web-based surveys and win cash, gift certificates, products, and much more. Pro Opinion Panel. Pro Opinion needs your help. Organizations desire better understanding of what their customers are thinking. Through conducting survey research with professionals like you, researchers are able to find the answers they need to make better decisions in serving their customers. Policymakers also use survey research to better understand public opinion and direct programs aimed at serving the public. As a Pro Opinion member, you will have a unique opportunity to help shape and influence the policies, products, and services of the world around you. Escantenas. This is a company that is specifically made for Spanish members that is dedicated to taking your opinions, benefiting from them, and generously compensating you thereafter. Honest Insight Panel. Honest Insight is a market research panel. It is a community of individuals who agree to share their views and opinions by honestly answering survey questions from leading marketing research companies all over the world. It's a fun way to learn about and influence the products and services you use every day. FGI Research is a leading provider of customer market research, custom panels, online communities, and surveys and data collection. Paid Expressions. Toluna is a global site for everything related to surveys, polls, and opinions. When you become a Toluna community member, you enjoy the benefits of earning money every time that you complete a survey. Your Say. At Your Say, your opinion actually matters. Start getting paid generous amounts of money for giving your honest opinion about everyday topics. African American Voice. This is the world's largest network for meeting new people. Now you can help to pinpoint the accuracy and compatibility of this online community by voicing your opinion and getting paid for it. Choose Entertainment. This is a great place to take surveys and win rewards. You simply take the surveys, music, film, and games to collect points for cash, gift vouchers, and prizes. AIP Online Surveys. This is for U.S. residents only. However, if you are a U.S. resident, this is a perfect place to earn money giving your best opinion. Important notice. These websites are updated and accurate as of 9/14/2011. Although each of these sites were valid on the date created, this doesn't mean that they will stay valid. Therefore, we recommend that you do regular checks on these sites as to visit their websites to verify any information. Here's yet another detail that you should pay very close attention to. Most of these legitimate survey companies will offer a referral program in which they will pay cash compensations and even free gifts in exchange for you sending them more qualified people to take their surveys. Normally, you can earn points or cash per referral, and since these companies so desperately need you and others to help them with their surveys, there's normally no limit as to how many people you can refer. You can refer 10, 20, or even 2,000 people if you like. The beauty of this referral system is that since these companies are free to sign up with, There's literally no reason as to why you can't show people, such as your friends, family, classmates, and current or ex-coworkers, your proof of earnings, and they'll be sold immediately. Normally, if there's a referral system available, it'll be posted somewhere on the website, usually either in an icon near the menu bar with the rest of the links or down at the very bottom of the page in a small link. Take advantage of these programs, especially if you're earning substantial or unusually high amounts of money with your surveys. The most important and powerful selling point is your own proof of earnings. If you can prove that you are earning, the people will join in like clockwork. Although you now have pretty much everything that you could possibly need in terms of making a regular and possibly even high-end full-time income taking surveys, you still need one more thing. You need an actual game plan, my friend. You need an exact blueprint of how you're supposed to take what you just learned and put it to use in the correct sequence so that it is used to the best of its ability to get your desired results time after time again. Therefore, you're about to discover how to devise the perfect game plan designed specifically for you. The first thing that you need to focus on in your game plan is in maximizing your time and your profits. Your goal is to make as much money as possible in the least amount of time. Earning $65 in 3 hours will always be much better than earning $25 in 3 hours, correct? Of course. So this is why you should always search for those jobs that are available regardless of the pay, as long as you qualify for them initially. But once you have gotten to the point in which you are able to turn down jobs and you aren't desperate anymore, things change. You will need to start weeding out those projects that just seem to pay the least and take the most of your time. This is because, once again, you want to earn the most money possible while you're doing surveys. If you're able to earn triple what the average survey taker is earning even in half the amount of time, then it would be inevitable that you'll be one of the highest earners in the industry, much like some of my other users that are able to achieve those goals. Next, you will need to figure a way to gradually and systematically replace the day job that you currently have with your new income. Of course, some people don't want to replace their current income. They just want to earn extra income. And this is perfectly fine. However, in this section, I'm speaking to those who truly would like to leave their current source of income, and I want to make sure that they're fully capable of doing so. This is a very simple thing to do if done correctly. It could be on your off time, your break, before your day job, after your day job, on the weekends, or even a mixture of all of the above. You have got to decide what would fit best with your schedule. Some of you reading this have kids or elderly people that you take care, and some of you don't. Some of you have much free time and others don't. Start out with a list of things that you do on a daily basis, such as family time, worship, exercise, television, hobbies, etc. Be sure to list your top 5 most time-consuming activities in order to be sure to either eliminate them, rotate them so you don't do them each and every day, or simply cut the time of each one by 25 to 75% because this will free up time. Try it out, and I'm more than sure that you'll be pleasantly surprised. Remember that you're supposed to use what you've learned earlier in this manual to create a set, perfect schedule that will allow you to treat this as a real job, because even though you have flexibility and many more incredible benefits, it actually is a real job. If you currently have a job and are in the middle of attempting to slowly build up to a point in which you can quit your job without losing any income, just treat this survey job as a second job until you're able to do it full time. You never want to quit your current income until you have consistently earned well on these surveys for at least 90 full days, 3 months, and there are no exceptions to this rule. You are now armed and dangerous with some of today's most prized information when it comes to earning money from home through a real, profitable, and very simple job. At this point, I'm just going to leave you with a few words of encouragement and just a tad bit more advice on your new survey money-making opportunity. You should already be fully aware of the many scams that are out there and should be steering clear of them at all costs. However, there are a few more things that I'd like for you to know, because failure is always other people's fault. In many cases, failure can stem from simply not being prepared, not know what you're up against, or even just plain old not taking your job as seriously as you probably should be. Here's a list of what to try to avoid. Number 1 pitfall: not enough jobs. You can do everything perfectly correct in my formula, but if you fail to get enough jobs, you give yourself a realistic chance of actually earning the type of money that you desire. It would be impossible to reach your income goals. Be sure to use what you've learned in order to position yourself to be successful. Pitfall 2, using the wrong companies. When you're dealing with the wrong survey companies, your fate will depend on it. No matter how perfectly you execute the Easy Survey Profit system, you will still have problems. Be sure to avoid companies that don't fit my scam criteria from earlier in this manual. Pitfall number 3, spending out-of-pocket money. Never spend out-of-pocket money when an individual or company says that they will pay you directly for filling out surveys. It makes no sense. This is a job, not a business. You wouldn't have to pay anyone to work for Walmart, would you? Of course not. And you shouldn't have to in this scenario either. Pitfall number 4, being misled. Don't allow your joy and excitement to cause you to be misled. Look at the facts, do your homework, and make your best educated guess as to what are the best moves to make when it comes to making decisions regarding your new job. Pitfall number 5, being lazy or procrastination. You are now your own boss, and you have to be held accountable for being on time and efficient in your work. No one else will be there to help you stay on track, so you must stay disciplined and procrastination free. Do your job the correct way every time to avoid problems. So what's next? I'll tell you what's next. It's time for you to start your new job and start actually enjoying what you do for a living. I don't know about you, but I'm someone who believes that my opinion matters, and also that it counts and should not be taken as a joke or lightly. Having the rare ability to be able to give your honest opinion to companies that honestly want to hear it, and then literally get paid real cash compensation to do so, is something that money honestly can't buy, because working a job that you love is priceless. This is where you and I part ways for now as you embark on your journey. Just take everything that you have learned, put it to use to the best of your ability, and you'll be earning a steady income through filling out surveys in record time, the same as thousands of others are currently doing. Don't get discouraged, don't start doubting, and don't listen to those who haven't walked the walk and talked the talk the same as my partners and I have. Enjoy your new job.
All rights reserved. No part of this ebook may be reproduced or transmitted in any form whatsoever, electronic or mechanical, including photocopying, recording, or by any informational storage or retrieval system, without express written, dated, and signed permission from the author. Disclaimer and/or legal notices. The information represented herein represents the view of the author as of the date of publication. Because of the rate with which conditions change, the author reserves the right to alter and update his opinion based on the new conditions. The ebook is for informational purposes only. While every attempt has been made to verify the information provided in this ebook, neither the author nor his affiliates and/or partners assume any responsibility for errors, inaccuracies, or omissions. Any slights of people or organizations are unintentional. If advice concerning legal or related matters is needed, the services of a fully qualified professional should be sought. This report is not intended for use as a source of legal or accounting advice. You should be aware of any laws that govern business transactions or other business practices in your country and state. Any reference to any person or business, whether living or dead, is purely coincidental. Page 2.